Hello, everyone, and welcome to Conexiones, a bilingual show about Latin culture in the U.S. I am so excited you are joining us tonight. We are live from New Orleans, Louisiana, and we are going to be talking about different things. Our first guest is Jake Regel. He is a musician. He plays with the band Yocho, and he will be our first guest ever, so I'm so excited that he decided to join us. After that, we're going to take a look back at Top Taco Fest. And later on, Jay Coelho will tell us the coolest events around town. So thank you so much for joining us. Like I said, we are live, so we'll be taking a look at your comments and questions to add into the conversation. But we're here, so I'm so excited you're here. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
So he is a musician that plays around town in different bands. And he's here especially because he likes Latin music a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Well, for people who don't know you, tell us a little bit about your background. Where did you grow up?
I'm from Chicago. I've been living in New Orleans about 4 years now. I started playing Latin music, probably about 7 or 8 years ago. I was in community college, and a little 21-year-old kid who I think was half Mexican, half Puerto Rican, a great keyboard player, taught me how to play salsa, and it was love ever since. I love it. I think he taught me how to play No Le Pega La Negra.
Oh, wow.
And it was like, I love this music.
That's so happy. It's such a happy music.
Yeah.
Even though the subject not that happy.
Yeah. I mean,
but we always find a way to make things, like joyful.
Yeah.
So your main instrument is?
The bass.
The bass, that's
right.
right.
So bajista.
And you play with genres?
I like to play a lot of roots music. Mainly I play reggae and like old New Orleans funk music and kind of the stuff from the 50s. And then salsa. And I also love hip hop. I love hip hop. It's true.
We know somebody else who loves that, but we'll talk about it in a little bit.
Right.
Let's talk about Yocho.
Sure.
There is a couple of friends of yours who were the founders of the band. How did that even start?
I think really it came between the drummer who we call Panadero and the lead singer who we call Grillo. Grillo had been to Colombia a couple times, spoke Spanish really well, loved salsa music, was really involved in dance. And Panadero, believe it or not, was living in Vermont and played a lot of Latin music up there and was just missing it. Wanted to get back together and do some more salsa or Latin-inspired music. And they asked a friend of theirs, mutual friend, for a bass player, and he recommended me. And then the three of us kind of got together and really started to grow the vibe and the culture of the band as it is now.
Did you think there was a market for that here in the city?
I didn't know, to tell you the truth. And it turns out there's more than I thought. There's far more salsa than I thought. But we didn't really care. We didn't necessarily, nobody thought we were going to make millions of dollars playing salsa music necessarily. We just thought it'd be fun and we might be able to have a good time with our friends, pretty much. Yeah.
So how many members are in the band right now?
It depends on the gig. Normally we're 7. We can stretch it to 8. We can bring it down to as few as 4. We really like to play around and see what kind of energy we can bring with different people. But the band is normally, when we have a full line, it will be 7.
That's a pretty good crowd.
Yeah, it's a big band.
Is there a venue where you're locally playing consistently?
No, we don't have any monthlies or weeklies on the books right now. We have a couple of nice gigs coming up. We're playing at June 23rd at the NOLA Caribbean Fest at Central City Barbecue. That'll be a real nice gig. And I think we have a Fontaine Palace gig coming up in June 6th, which is, they've been doing Latin nights over there. It's kind of a locals vibe. It's been in the past.
What is the reaction from people that are like, okay, these guys play really good and it's so much fun, but what is this? They don't seem like they're all American? Are you all American?
No, we're mostly American. We have 2 Latinos in the band. The drummer is Japanese descent, but he's American. People always think he's Latino. He's not.
But there is a lot of, Latinos look anyhow, and
exactly.
Like Peru and other American countries have a lot of Asian influence. So
people just think, they just assume automatically, I think. But we have a guy from 2 guys from Argentina, the conguero and the guitar player are Argentine.
Which is not that common. I mean, I know they have cumbia, but Argentinians are not known for their Latin music too much.
I think no. I mean, and Martin, the guitar player, is always putting us on to this different stuff that came out of Brazil or Argentina that we didn't know about before. But I think he got into salsa in similar ways that we did. You know, just in terms of like listening to the music and enjoying it versus growing up in that culture.
So when was the first time you travel to Latin America?
Yeah.
How old were you? How did you decide to go explore Latin America?
Well, my sister, she's the traveler, really. When I was 18, she went to Africa. She spent time in Senegal a couple of times. She spent like over a year there. And then she decided to go do social work first it was Central America. She was in Managua, Nicaragua for like over a year. And then she went to San Salvador to work with the massacre survivors for like 5 months. She was there doing really great work. I was really, really proud of her. And we decided to meet up in Guatemala. I flew out there and she met me in Guatemala, and then we did some like 3 weeks of tourist traveling around, which was kind of my first experience, and I loved it. I mean, it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
I've been to Guatemala, and I think it's a great country to go first because there is a lot of tourists around.
Yeah.
You feel, certain places you feel like safe. You see people like you, like discovering things.
Everybody's Spanish was really nice too. In Colombia as well. People's Spanish was so nice. And I grew up in Chicago with a lot of Mexicans, a lot of Puerto Ricans, with just like very difficult to understand. I got to Guatemala, I was like, everybody speaks so nicely here. It's like, I don't know, that was just me.
Like the different accents, we might have some Mexicans saying that their Spanish is just as beautiful, but I understand some people have told us, Colombians, that our Spanish is very clear.
That's what, same with Guatemala I found. It was just like very, like I said, I grew up with the, like, I think that most of the Mexicans that I grew up with from like Jalisco, or I'm not sure what state it is, down by like Aguascalientes and that area of Mexico. And then a lot of Puerto Ricans, and it's just like very distinct accents that took me a long time to understand. And then I got to Guatemala and I was like, I understand people a lot better down here.
Yeah. Kind of like for us who moved to the U.S., depending on where you go, it's a little harder to understand.
Yeah.
And New Orleans is no exception. Like it's very hard sometimes to understand people around New Orleans.
I understand. Come to Chicago, I think you'd find it a little easier. Midwestern accents are supposed to be very normal. And
I've been to Chicago, and I think it's a great city. It's a lot of fun walking around and getting to see. And the food.
Oh, yeah.
The food is great. We have really good food in New Orleans, but I think there was so much more diversity of food over
city.
there.
Yeah.
It was
amazing. But I feel a connection. I think the Mississippi River connects us. I feel a big connection between Chicago and New Orleans.
And jazz, right?
Yeah, and blues. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So let's talk more about Yocho. Do you also do like your original compositions, right?
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah.
That's super exciting.
We love writing music. I mean, so we started playing covers, the classics. I mean, Ana Caona, I mentioned Rebellion, Cuarto de Tula. I mean, like classic songs that I would hear in the discos that I'd go to in Colombia, where I knew that people would know every word to these songs. So we wanted to play these songs and maybe give people that experience of like being able to dance to a song they've heard on the record in a very similar way. But once we did that, we were like, well, we have all this knowledge now that we learned from these songs, like we should make our own. And we definitely, once we started, it just kind of kept going, and we just writing and having a good time, trying to make songs people like.
How many songs are there?
So on the internet we have 3, and one of them's a cover. One of them is an original arrangement of a cover too, but I call that an original song. And the other one is purely original. But we always have our own like style that we're gonna put onto it. So we would never record a cover the way it was recorded on the record. How are we gonna say that we're gonna do it better than Hector Lavoe or or Joe Roy? We're not those people. We're trying to do it our own way. But in the works, we have like probably like 5 original songs, something like that we're working with.
It's pretty cool because, like with reggaeton and all this new urban music that is so popular right now, there is not a lot of new salsa around.
Yeah, I feel like there's like new style salsa that mixes in the reggaeton and mixes in kind of like more of a hip hop beat, but we're kind of trying to do some of like the older styles because we like it.
Yeah, it's great. So I'm from Cali, Colombia, and we're very salseros there. So that's why I was like, we need to talk to them because I think it's fascinating. I love when people fall in love with other cultures and try to, enjoy them. I don't think there is anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
There is so much talk now about like cultural appropriation And there is like a very fine line that you can cross, but I think for the most part when people start doing things from other cultures it's because they love it and they enjoy it, and there is nothing wrong with
that's
that.
appreciation.
Right, appreciation instead of appropriation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and who's? Oh no, I want to talk about your names because you have like AKA and aliases for this band.
We're a community, and I think the idea at the beginning was that we are Yocho. We're not like, in New Orleans bands, very, very many times you're on the bandstand, they say, Jake Brigel on bass, and then you take a solo, and then, Daiki Hirano on drums, and you take a solo. But we wanted to just be Yocho. You know what I mean? We didn't want to necessarily, because everybody is out doing these other gigs all the time. We all play with different bands. You could see members of Yocho on Frenchman Street, all around the city, any day of the week. But when we come together, we have this kind of different vibe going on. And I just picture it as like this small community that actually reminds me of this place I was at in Guatemala. It was a natural place called Semuc Champay.
Wow, you went there?
Yeah,
I want to go there so bad.
I would go back in a minute. I should go. It was just, and there's this little town outside of there. And like, it just seemed like they had one casero, they had one frutero, they had one, parriero, and I was like, that's what I feel like in Yocho. We kind of have one of each different person that comes together and creates this town where you can like, I don't know.
No, I love that. Yeah. There's like a metaphor for what you do.
That's how I feel about it. Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah. But so like how you give these characteristics to the different people, like
it actually, I don't know. It came like they were just nicknames in the beginning. You know what I mean? Like I was saying, like, yeah, all right. So the trumpet player is the frutero, and he's from here. So we like picture him as being the guy who's walking down, the street hawking his fruit. Selling his stuff, and we have, who else? The grillo means cricket, of course, in Spanish, but is a pun on the word griot, which is an African storyteller. Griot.
Oh,
so it's kind of a joke on that. Well, like he's the storyteller. So
he's the singer.
Yeah. So
that makes sense.
Yeah, we call him the grillo. The trombone player, we call him Carnicero because his last name is Butcher. It's not very clever.
Well, but that works.
But yeah, exactly. So it's just, but when it came that way, and we were just, the panadero is like, he bakes all the time. So, like,
really?
Yeah. So we gave ourselves these nicknames, but in my mind, it created this community, So that's kind of where that's from. And now it's just fun. We just have a good time with it on stage. You know what I mean?
So you love Latin music. Tell me what you like about Latin culture.
Man, I love the food, first of all. Let me not get too far ahead.
Okay.
I absolutely love the food in Latin culture. But I think that in the Latin culture, I find that people are very expressive with their bodies and with their faces. I found that I had to learn a lot of nonverbal stuff when I went to Colombia. You might ask somebody where something is, and I'll be like, you'll be like, yes, what did you just do? Like, what does that mean? It means
over there. Don't you know this? It's right there.
I didn't know it at the time, but I just found a lot more of those, and you can really feel like a kind of passion that shows on people's faces that was described to me by a girlfriend I had in Colombia as calor humano.
Calor humano.
Yeah,
yes.
That's how she described it to me. She's like,
human warmth.
Yeah, we have a lot of that, is what she said to me. She says, tenemos mucha calor humano. My Spanish is bad.
No, your Spanish is great. You can speak Spanish very well.
I do all right. That's another thing I really love. I find that language is like just another facet of music to me. In order to learn a song, I have to listen to the record, and I have to hear how it goes and hear like the different nuances that are in it. It's the same with language. I have to listen to how a Latino says something, because you can't say, "Yo soy Jacob." A Latino's not going to speak back to you. This is how I found being a white person who speaks Spanish. But if I say, "Yo soy Jacobo," they're going to speak back to me in Spanish.
Oh, okay. So you introduce yourself as Jacobo in Spanish? Most of the time?
Yeah, most of the time. Yeah.
That's cool.
It's from being 12 years old in school and saying, my teacher being like, "You're Jacobo."
Yeah. And the kids usually ask me like, what would my name be in Spanish? I'm like, your same name, probably, most
Really?
likely.
Yeah.
A lot of names don't really have translation, but I think
that makes sense,
Jacobo,
yeah.
it's one of those biblical names that you can translate easily.
I think Colombians are in the small amount of Spanish speakers who can pronounce a J too. So, I found that people in Colombia could say Jacob, but in Mexico they're gonna call me Jacob
Interesting.
for the most part.
Jacob.
Yeah.
Jacob.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's because we do the j
Yeah.
harder,
Like a double L, right?
Lluvia instead of lluvia, like
yeah.
some Central American countries. All right, so I want to talk briefly about this performance. There was like a famous person in the
Oh,
audience,
jeez.
and she did a shout out to you.
Yeah.
She posted a video. It was when Pink was here for her concert. She came to
Yeah.
Frenchman
You're
Street and
making
she
me
found
blush.
this talent.
Yeah, I'm a cover rapper. I love to rap. It's something I've been doing since I was a kid in the poetry scene in Chicago. And I moved to New Orleans and I started playing with a reggae band. And there's a very common thing when playing out on Frenchman Street that when you will just start singing the choruses to other songs over whatever song you're doing. So the singer just started going, "I love it when you call me Big Papa." And I knew all the words to that song. So I started to do the raps, and now I rap with this group all the time. And that Pink was in the audience once. Oh look, they got me up on the screen. Y'all are gonna make me blush so hard. So she put me up on her Instagram. I felt like I was on TV that day. It had like 500,000 views, and I mean, I'm so humbled that such a big inspirational woman like that recognized me, and the whole band, Higher Heights in general, is like, she just got this little 30-second clip, but
There's a lot of energy though.
yeah, we were going nuts all night. We had that club packed from like 10:30 until 4 in the morning. It was nuts that night.
So, like, what happens with a famous person shows up in the audience? Like, who spots the person and who tells you, hey, this person is
Some
here?
guy actually came up to me and was like, "Hey, I think Pink's over there." And I was like, "Really?" Yeah. And I look over that. He's like, "Yeah, with the green hair. She had a wig on."
She's in disguise.
So normally we would we've had famous people in the audience before.
Yeah.
We would if we knew, we would probably ask them to come up and sing if they wanted to. But I don't know what happened. We didn't ask her to sing. But then the next day, she hung around a little while after the show ended and everybody left. She hung out.
She did nice.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
She was so nice. I mean, I didn't really, I don't know. I wasn't trying to fanboy it up too much.
Yeah.
I just said hello and it's so nice to have you in the audience.
As opposed to there was Christina Aguilera who got rejected.
That was so funny. I know some of those people, to be fair, that work at that bar. I play at that bar a lot, and she was really drunk. So I understand.
And it's like an older gentleman who probably didn't recognize her.
Oh, don't even get me started. Nobody recognized her, though. I guess some people did, but they were like, "Did you see the video? She's wearing a baseball cap." And
I don't remember. I just remember the video of you playing and Pink liking it.
Appreciate you. Yeah, it was fun.
Well, I've learned so much about you and the things that you do and your love for Latin culture. I'm so excited that you decided to join us tonight. And I'm looking forward to seeing you perform.
Absolutely.
In any of these bands. Yocho perhaps will give you the
June
opportunity
23rd,
to dance.
June 23rd at Caribbean Fest, NOLA Caribbean Fest.
Yeah, that
Central City
festival,
Barbecue.
it's fairly new, but it's taking off. Well,
Yeah.
every festival here takes off.
They always do. There's a festival every weekend, and just to have the opportunity to get up there and play for some new people is always a good time.
So June 23rd.
Yeah.
And if people want to follow you and Yocho, where should they follow you?
Personally, you can find me on Instagram at The Incredible Edible Jake, or you can just search for Jake Brigell, Brigell. Yocho is on Instagram at I Love Yocho, or Facebook at Yocho Band. If you want to listen to the music, you can check us out on Bandcamp, iloveyocho.bandcamp.com.
All right. Thank you so
No
much
problem.
for
Thanks
joining
for having
us.
me. It was so nice. Appreciate you
I
guys.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
So right now we're going to go to another festival. We're going to go to Top Taco Fest. It was a festival that celebrated tacos, drinks made with agave and tequila. They had contests, they had all these amazing things. And so Jay Coelho and I took a tour, and we'll take you on it to remember a fun festival that you shouldn't miss next year. Hola Jay, ¿cómo estás?
Hola, muy bien. ¿Cómo estamos? ¿Cómo estamos aquí en el ambiente de aquí de Top Taco?
Estamos súper bien, estamos haciendo este segmento para Conexiones y es jueves por la noche. Estamos en el Waldenberg Park con el evento Top Taco 2019 y entonces, ¿qué has pensado de este evento? Esta es tu primera vez, ¿no?
Esta es mi primera vez en este evento y la verdad que me encanta porque hay tacos de todo gusto y hay pues bebidas a montones de todos los diferentes restaurantes de aquí de todo New Orleans.
¿Qué bebida tienes tú ahí?
Yo tengo un Don Julio aquí, como pueden ver aquí en la tapita de enfrente, y está súper rico.
Y yo tengo una margarita de menta con fresas de Nacho Mamas y está deliciosa, tiene jalapeño también. Contémosle un poquito a la gente qué hay en este evento. ¿Qué es lo que más te ha gustado hasta el momento?
Lo que más me ha gustado es la interacción de la gente, o sea, cómo se acerca a la comunidad y viene aquí a compartir entre todos en familia. Y pues las degustaciones de los tacos, eso es lo que más me gusta, la comida.
A mí lo que más me gusta es precisamente que tenemos tacos de todos los gustos, como tú dijiste, pero tenemos gente de todas partes, de todas las culturas, gente de New Orleans, de todos los colores de piel, mejor dicho, me encanta que a través de la comida conectemos las culturas.
Sí, y ¿sabes qué es lo curioso? Que aquí hay mucho americano, cuando yo pensé que en realidad solo iba a ser como de hispanos porque pues es Top Taco. Cualquiera se imagina que solo es para mexicanos o para hispanos en sí, pero hay mucho americano aquí, eso es lo que me gusta mucho también. O sea.
Y hasta ahora lo que he probado yo que más me ha gustado ha sido un taco de carnitas con, ¿cómo se llama? Remolacha. Estaba delicioso.
Ah, ok. Pues yo probé, en realidad casi no he probado muchos tacos, creo que era de pulpo el que probé, pero sí me gustó muchísimo. Pues vamos a seguir probando porque hay mucho que probar en este festival, la verdad.
Bueno, yo quiero que la cámara muestre un poco qué es lo que hay a nuestro alrededor, porque podemos caminar hacia donde está lo de la lucha libre. Y pues sobre todo la gente se reúne por todos los lugares para, realmente no es hacer fila, pero es esperar un poquito que los tacos estén listos, porque uno paga la entrada y todo lo que está disponible para el primero que llegue. O sea, son tacos y bebidas ilimitadas. Imagínense ustedes eso.
Eso creía yo también, que teníamos que pagar por cada comida, pero en realidad llegas a la carpa y te dan taco del que quieras, del que más gustes. O sea, solo esperas un poquito como tú dices y te lo dan en el acto. O sea, lo probás ya.
Entonces aquí tenemos los luchadores que ahorita están haciendo show, pero también están haciendo peleas. La gente se está tomando fotos con ellos. Y hay, ¿cuántos restaurantes más o menos? Bueno, tenemos como 26 tiendas diferentes que son entre comida y bebidas. Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, ¿y tú?
Bien, is this your first time at Top Taco?
Sí, it is my first time here.
Do you speak Spanish?
Poquito.
Poquito.
Yeah.
And what do you like about Top Taco?
I love that they have free tacos and free drinks, and the environment. You know, it's laid back and chilled, and I think it's muy bien.
Have you danced? Have you bailar con there is live music,
Yeah.
and there is DJs everywhere.
Yes, I do dance. Oh, you care to dance? You care to get your little?
I talk to some people, but we'll dance in a little bit,
man.
yeah.
Hey, you get another one of those and you'll be fine, yeah.
I can dance. I don't need the drink to dance, but I need to drink to because it's great.
It is.
Nice talking to you.
Same here. Thank you, baby.
Entonces, como ven, la gente es súper amigable.
Sí, eso es lo más bonito, que puedes interactuar con la gente sin ningún problema. Todos están a la disposición de lo que querrás compartir con ellos, como él que quería pues bailar contigo ahorita mismo.
Y yo tengo muchas cosas en la mano para estar bailando. Aquí vamos a ver la lucha libre que está pasando en este momento.
La lucha libre, eso me encanta, lo amé. Aunque me da un poquito de miedo porque en realidad los golpes son súper fuertes, es real.
Bueno, Jay, yo llevo 20 años en New Orleans y jamás me imaginé que íbamos a ver lucha libre sobre el río Mississippi.
Pues imagínate yo que nunca había venido, o sea, me encanta porque estamos aquí a la orilla, como dices, frente al río Mississippi. Esto está de maravilla.
Aquí también al lado de la lucha libre están las micheladas, que estaban deliciosas.
Uy, si te acuerdas, uy, me la tomé todita porque está deliciosa, era de tamarindo, ¿verdad?
Tenía el tamarindo adentro de la michelada. Nunca había tenido yo ese sabor y la verdad es que viviendo aquí en New Orleans uno aprende a conocer un montón de cosas diferentes. Por ejemplo, yo no comía tamarindo y menos que tomaba una cerveza con picante. Y ahora esa mezcla es una de mis favoritas.
Es como una mezcla explosiva, sí, pero rica, rica. Tampoco había probado la michelada de tamarindo hasta hoy y me encantó.
Bueno, vamos a seguir caminando para mostrar la parte del VIP. Que por supuesto ellos ofrecen tiquetes de entrada general, tiquetes de primeras pruebas, que puede entrar uno más temprano, y tiquetes de VIP donde tienes un área exclusiva, con mesas, con bares exclusivos, con bandejas para uno caminar más cómodamente. Era Conexiones, pero bueno.
Exacto, a eso es que me refiero. Es súper bonito esto, ¿eh? La gente anda muy feliz compartiendo, amigables. Eso es lo más bonito de estos eventos.
Bueno, y Hola Nola era un nombre que a mí me gustaba para nuestro show, pero resulta que hay unas tortillas que hacen localmente que ya se llaman así.
Ay, pero bueno, ya que está bueno Conexiones o Connections, como dices.
Así porque nosotros queremos conectar culturas. Bueno, una de las tiendas más populares que hay aquí es la de Los Jefes. Los Jefes se ha hecho una buena imagen y ha cautivado a muchísimas personas que tienen su Taco Tuesday. Y miren aquí está la mayoría de la gente parada buscando los tacos.
Eso, yo no me había fijado que estaban Los Jefes, y lo mejor es que tienen el propio DJ de Los Jefes. Aquí a la mano derecha está el DJ, no sé el nombre, yo creo que
Emotion.
Ajá, me encanta. Los Taco Tuesday de Los Jefes son buenísimos también. Qué bueno.
Entonces aquí está la gente feliz bailando, súper emocionados, y vamos a mostrar la parte del VIP para que vean cómo está de bonito eso. Entonces por aquí uno entra, le dan una bandejita especial para poder cargar la comida y la bebida y se puede sentar cómodamente. Y yo les cuento que para esta época de mayo realmente el clima está increíble.
Pero hoy nos ha favorecido de maravilla, el clima está perfecto. Ni sol, la noche está súper rica para disfrutarlo a lo grande, así como, no sé tú, pero yo estoy súper conforme con el clima que nos favoreció tanto hoy.
Aquí está el Tesoro y ellos tienen unas palomas deliciosas. Están haciendo tacos de pulpo. Esta es la gente del restaurante Crew. Tenemos a Jack Rose también en el Pontchartrain Hotel. Aquí están ellos haciendo... ¡Hola!
¡Hola!
Jack Rose está... Bueno, un montón de restaurantes. ¿Cuáles son? Bueno, la cerveza Modelo, Tacos and Beer en Los Jefes, Carubi Kitchen, The Chop Yard, Fidelity Bank, que son unos sponsors de nosotros, entonces ellos participan muchísimo en los eventos locales. Casa María, La Casita y Cuñada, Barracuda, Baliz, Bex by the Lake, Fulton Alley, Nacho Mamas. Mejor dicho, para probar de todos los gustos.
De todos los gustos. Y eso que estamos solamente a la mitad de todo lo que es el Top Taco, ¿verdad? Nos falta mucho por recorrer.
Así es, Jay. Y pues yo muy emocionada que hayamos podido venir juntas a disfrutar de este evento. Hay postres también. Así que ya saben, esto es Conexiones y vamos a estar trayéndoles cubrimiento de algunos eventos y vamos a estar haciendo un poco de cine y queremos que disfruten de nuestro contenido.
Por favor, va a ser todos los miércoles, ¿verdad?
Todos los miércoles.
Ok, bueno, los esperamos, no se pierdan ni uno de nuestros segmentos.
Y así que ya saben, el próximo año no se pueden perder Top Taco. Nos vemos la próxima vez.
Y eso fue Top Taco. It was such an amazing event. Really, next year, don't miss it. Jay is back with us tonight.
She's gonna tell us all the events that are coming up. So, Jay, go ahead, tell us.
Hola a todos, yo soy Jay Cuello y te traigo los eventos más cool de NOLA. El primero en nuestro calendario es el Oyster Festival, que tendrá lugar este fin de semana el 1 y 2 de junio en el Parque Waldenberg. Si te gustan las ostras, no te querrás perder este festival, donde encontrarás concursos, música y mucha diversión. Para los amantes del buen rock, el próximo jueves 6 de junio, Draco Rosa trae su gira Monte Sagrado a House of Blues. Draco es músico, cantante, compositor, multiinstrumentista, productor, poeta y empresario de origen puertorriqueño, que ha ganado múltiples premios Grammy y Grammy Latinos. Entre sus canciones más populares está Más y Más junto a Ricky Martin. Draco y su Monte Sagrado Tour estará aquí en NOLA, así que ve buscando tus entradas desde ya. Del 6 al 9 de junio se llevará a cabo la celebración New Orleans Pride en el French Quarter, que incluye un gran desfile el sábado a las 7:30 y fiestas, comida y mucha diversión durante el NOLA Pride 2019. Un festival muy a la Luisiana que no te puedes perder es el Creole Tomato Festival, que tendrá lugar el sábado 8 y domingo 9 de junio con música en vivo, deliciosos platillos a base de tomate y Bloody Marys para disfrutar del verano de Nueva Orleans en el French Market. Cuéntanos en los comentarios a cuál de estos eventos asistirás. Yo soy Jay Cuello y te espero la próxima semana con muchos más eventos como estos aquí en NOLA.
The great thing about New Orleans is that there is always something to do.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to stay home. It's hard to not have anywhere to go. It's amazing, everything we have to do here.
No sleep ever.
So before we go, I wanted you to tell me like some of your favorite picks for Latin music, for different genres.
Oh man, let's go all day. I mean, I love the original Buena Vista Social Club record. I will listen to anything by Fania All Stars. And really, Manu Chao is one of my favorites. Clandestino, I can listen to that record I once a week, every day, whatever. I know all the words. If you ever see me out busking on Royal Street, I will be playing Manu Chao songs. I promise you that.
Well, I'm going to have to check it out. So, well, thank you so much again. We're so happy that you join us. We'll be back next week. Tell your friends, like it, comment, share, send us your messages. We'll be happy to answer them live. Do a little better next time because I was having trouble looking at them. But don't forget that we'll be on 6 p.m. live on Facebook with Conexiones. See you next time.